afternoon. My name is Stuart Bumpus, and I'm happy to welcome all of you to the Texas Theodore Roosevelt Association's Police Award Ceremony. I want to thank particularly the Dallas Blue Foundation for sponsoring today's event. We're pleased to have Mayor Rawlings here this afternoon, who will open today's ceremony. Mayor Rawlings will be followed by Chief Brown, who will welcome us to this magnificent headquarters building, and by Tony Roosevelt, who, with his son Toby, will recognize the past awardees that are with us today. I'm pleased now to turn the podium over to the mayor.
Thank you, Stuart, and thank you all for being here, past recipients, current men and women in the force, and supporters of our city. As I come to a close of 4 years of being mayor, I realize existentially what I knew intellectually, that safety is the #1 important item for our city. It is for our citizens, and it is the enabler for our economic growth that we're experiencing as a city. But that's a concept. Reality, people must feel safe, and they must understand that somehow they live in a place where they can go about their life and crime does not interact with it. And to do that, you can't just talk about it. You can't just vote about it at City Council, even though that's an important part of it. You've got to protect citizens day in and day out. And that is only done by individuals that put a badge on their chest and swear an oath to protect the citizens of Dallas. That is why this today is important, because at its fundamental belief is that we are here to provide that safety for our citizens. It's also important because we all need heroes, and heroes are individuals. They have names, they have faces, they live in a house, they put on their pants one leg at a time. But we need to lift up certain individuals at times to say, wow, someday maybe I can be like that. And that helps us all get better. The Theodore Roosevelt Award does just that. It holds up the concept of serving others through keeping them safe, and it isolates and exemplifies one individual that has done something wonderful and heroic. So thank you for the folks that support it. Now I want to just add one editorial comment, that we live in strange times where maybe it's not any more strange than it used to be, okay? But because of these little things, the scrutiny of each and every one of us is heightened. And what we see at times are individuals doing wonderful things, and at times terrible mistakes. But I am proud to be the mayor of Dallas. I am proud of our police force. I'm proud of our chief and his staff. We walk a fine line, but it is an important one, where we keep our citizens safe, and for 11 years in a row, crime is going down. But they also hold up our laws of not only our city, but our state and our nation. Thank you for you folks that are in the street day in and day out, having to be the Supreme Court on one end and a hell of a wrestler on the other end, you know? But you guys do it. And I'm proud of talking to citizens throughout this city about what you guys do. So keep the faith. Keep doing what's right, and that will win in the long run. I do believe we have the best chief in the United States of America, and David Brown sets that standard of making sure that we are safe. And whether you're an officer or whether you're a citizen, but he understands the importance of upholding our laws in our country as well. So David, thank you for your leadership.
I want to thank the Theodore Roosevelt Association Texas chapter for continuing to support our officers in their endeavors to protect the citizens of Dallas. Thank you so much for enduring all the things that are important to our democracy, that are important to the citizens of Dallas. And it's no small thing that you turn out every year to recognize the courage, commitment, and dedication of our officers. It's no small thing. So thank you so much for what you've done, Stuart. Mr. Roosevelt, thank you so much for your commitment to us. It is greatly appreciated. It is not taken for granted. And sometimes we have to encourage ourselves and pat ourselves on the back, but it's a wonderful thing when others recognize our dedication and sacrifice. And Jimmy is quite an example of that courage and dedication. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And yes, we will continue doing the right things for the citizens of Dallas to make them safe and to protect the citizens' civil rights. So thank you.
As you know, this is the 17th TRA Dallas Police Award. The prior 16 recipients of the award are listed in your program, and a number of them are here with us today. We would like for those who are present to step forward and join us here as my dad reads the names of our prior recipients.
Is Ron Ascaro with us today? Ron? Ron, I think you're going to have to go out that direction. We've got this tucked off here. I know Bob Govern is here. Come on up, Bob. Is David Llewellyn here? Thomas Sissio? I know Tony's here. Tony, Tony Crawford? I know Kenneth Hall is here. Kenneth, can you join us? Is Fred Cathani here? I know Sherry Golden is here. Thanks for coming, Sherry. Robert Decker, as you know, has passed away. Is Douglas Brady here? Laura May? Joseph Mullen? Jerry Poston? Curtis Brazil? Jeremy Borsha? Officer Richard Witt? Is he here? Well, these are most of our past recipients, and we thank you both all for coming back today.
So as a final word, let us again say thanks to you and those who could not be with us for your past sacrifice and service to our Dallas community. We could not be more proud of you and all members of the Dallas Police Department for what you do and for what you have done for all of us. Thank you again.
Thank you. to give you a little background on the Theodore Roosevelt Association. The Texas chapter of the Theodore Roosevelt Association is one of several local chapters throughout the country, all under the auspices of the National Theodore Roosevelt Association. The association was chartered by the United States Congress in 1920 with the stated purpose of perpetuating the memory and ideals of Theodore Roosevelt, our country's 26th president. According to the association's mission statement, the main objective of the National Association and its various local chapters is to instill in all who may be interested an appreciation for and understanding of the values, policies, cares, concerns, interests, and ideals that Theodore Roosevelt held. To that end, the association has reconstructed TR's birthplace, a brownstone house in New York City, assembled the TR Presidential Collection of over 12,000 books and pamphlets, 3,500 cartoons, 10,000 photographs, and thousands of letters, manuscripts, and other materials. It's also purchased what was then Anacostan Island on the Potomac River in Washington, D.C., and presented it to the federal government as Theodore Roosevelt Island in 1932. Finally, the association has purchased and restored TR's home, Sagamore Hill, in Oyster Bay, New York, and opened it to the public in 1953. Most significantly, for today's purposes, the various association chapters also sponsor annual awards to police officers who've overcome handicaps and rendered outstanding service. The association introduced the first police award in the New York City Police Department in 1983. Since its organization in 1995, the local Texas chapter has periodically recognized a Dallas police officer. As many of you know, prior to becoming president, TR was the police commissioner of New York City. He once famously commented that no man is above the law and no man is below it. And this perhaps best exemplifies his approach as commissioner. According to eminent Roosevelt biographer William Harbaugh, never in the department's history had the law been so effectively and dramatically enforced. Never had there been seen so many basic and sweeping reforms. During the remainder of his lifetime, his support of the police never faltered and was in fact almost legendary. TR would certainly appreciate that every day in Dallas and in other cities throughout the country, our policemen and women encounter hardships and sacrifices to make our lives and our property more secure. All of us who are members of the association consider it an honor to salute them at our annual awards ceremony and to thank them for a job well done. TR no doubt had the police in mind when he said in one of his most memorable speeches, and I've quoted this before, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or whether the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms and great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat." It's my pleasure now to turn the podium over to David Roosevelt, who will present this year's award.
Thank you, Stuart. I get the privilege of presenting the award, but before I do so, I want to recognize some very special guests that we have with us here today. Robbie, would you do me a favor and please stand up? Robbie is Officer Hollis's wife. Brittany and Whitney, would you all stand up, please? These are Officer Hollis's daughters. And Walter, would you stand up as well? This is Officer Hollis's brother-in-law. Thank you all. We recognize that while this award is directly to Officer Hollis, that it also reflects all the support, love that you all have given him throughout the years. So thank you. I want to call your attention to the write-up on Officer Hollis in the program, if you would. And I'm going to take a couple minutes and read it, because it's the reason we're here today. Officer Jimmy Hollis is currently assigned to the Firearms Training Center, where he serves as a primary instructor for recruit and in-service classes. He is also a primary armorer for all weapons used by the Dallas Police Department. He brings a wide range of skills to the Firearms Training Center, and his experience is unmatched in the department. Officer Hollis was assigned to the Firearms Training Center in 2006, when he was also diagnosed with an infection that had spread to his heart, causing him to be placed on the list for a heart transplant. While waiting for a transplant, Officer Hollis continued to work at the pistol range at the Firearms Training Center and trained both recruits and in-service officers, often volunteering to help those having trouble shooting. Although usually fatigued and short of breath, he would take the time to ensure that each officer received the finest training available in firearms instruction. Finally, 2 days before Thanksgiving 2012, Officer Hollis was told that a new heart was available. The transplant surgical team was ready, and Jimmy was rushed to the hospital. The surgery took over 4 hours, and the results were fantastic. Officer Hollis began his recovery almost immediately, and although sore and recovering from surgery, Jimmy was eager to get back to work. Through extensive rehabilitation and Herculean effort, Officer Hollis's recovery is complete, yet he still requires anti-rejection medication that costs over $3,000 every month. Jimmy continues to work every day, enthusiastically embracing the challenges of living with a transplanted heart. He is the first to volunteer when there is an officer having trouble shooting and patiently guides him through each step so that the officer can gain confidence and become a better shot and a better police officer. Some might say that Officer Hollis has an almost supernatural ability to calm, encourage, and bring out the best performance from a struggling shooter. To diagnose, then teach a shooter how to succeed at the range takes superior observation skills, a solid understanding of the fundamentals of handgun shooting, and the ability to communicate effectively with stressed-out individuals that are sometimes fighting years of poor shooting habits, or in the case of recruits, many never have fired a gun in their lives. Jimmy handles all of these tasks with an ease that belies their difficulty. As explained by Officer Douglas Brady, Jimmy Hollis exemplifies the dedication and perseverance that makes the Dallas Police Department one of the best agencies in the nation. For this reason, and many others, for his tireless efforts to effectively train the officers of the Dallas Police Department, for his courage in the face of certain death, and for his ability to overcome and fully recover from a heart transplant, I am proud to recommend Officer Jimmy Hollis for the 2015 Theodore Roosevelt Award. Jimmy, come on up. Come on up, Jimmy. Well, I'll just speak loudly. I have a number of things to present to Officer Hollis. So, Officer Hollis, this is a TRA badge that we in the TRA wear with affection. So I'm gonna give that to you. We also have a ribbon that the TRA made just to commemorate this type of event around the country. I'm going to give that to you as well. And I understand this. This is a commendation bar that the Dallas Police Department designed and had made that you get to wear with your uniform to recognize this award. I'd also like to give you this bust of Theodore Roosevelt. And last but not least, I want to give you a check for $2,000. What a privilege it is as a citizen of Dallas to be able to say thank you to a Dallas police officer and all the officers who are here. We are truly grateful for all that you do for us because we recognize that you guys and gals are putting your lives on the line for us each and every day. So it's a privilege to be able to be here with you. Would you like to say a couple words? You don't have to, but if you'd like to, you got the mic.
I'd like to thank everybody that came today for this ceremony, and Mayor, Chief, and everyone. And I really appreciate the award that's given to me, and I'm just going to try to continue to do a lot of the things that I've been doing and continue to work with people and get our business taken care of out at the range. I've come a long way. It's been a long road, and I thank all of y'all for coming. Thank you very much.
Stuart, are you going to introduce the Dallas Police Department choir?
That's fine.
Well, I was just going to hand it on over, but I would like to say that after the benediction, please stick around because there's going to be a reception with some snacks and some drinks, and we'd love it if everybody would participate in that. Thank you, Stuart.
I just wanted to say that Father Bob Daniels will be giving the benediction after the choir has finished its performance.
I want you to come to our church. On behalf of all of the faith communities, I'm glad to be here to offer a benediction for all the traditions that are represented here and around our city. Mr. Mayor and Chief, thank you for including me. Stuart, thank you for inviting me. Let us pray. Oh God, we thank you that you draw us together in the city of Dallas from a wide array of traditions and backgrounds and cultures and races and genders. We thank you that you have caused this very good police department to not only exist but flourish under the chief's leadership. We thank you for all the men and women who serve in this police force, keeping this city safe and allowing our citizenry to flourish. We thank you for raising up healthy and faithful and courageous leaders, including Officer Hollis. We thank you for blessing us with family and friends and loving care which surrounds us on every side. We call upon you now to give us both the faith and the perseverance and the courage to carry forward in even better days ahead, that we would carry forward with your mission with hope and promise, that we will care for old and young alike, black and white alike, rich and poor alike, and that you will cause in us a great sense of your presence, and that you will enable us to lift up all of our gifts and talents for a greater good than self. All of this we ask in your holy name. Amen.